Tensions are building up in the ruling All Progressives Congress APC as its national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, resigns, alongside the party's national secretary, Iyola Omishori. Deputy national chairman of the party in the NAF, Senator Abubakar Kyari, is now the party's acting national chairman. Adamu's resignation makes it the third time a chairman will leave office unceremoniously since the party's formation in 2013. Recall that the successor of the party's founding chairman, Chief John Odije Oyegun, was ousted quite unceremoniously. Thereafter, Comrade Adams Oshomole, and now Senator Abdullahi Adamu. Several controversies surround Senator Adamu's resignation, and this informs our focus on Nigeria today. Welcome to the program. I am your carrier, Clinton. Joining me to discuss a change of leadership in APC is Cletus Ogbu, APC stalwart. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me once again, NTNU.
Also joining the discussion is Ahmed Abubakar Tanimu, a reliable and dependable friend of the House, human rights activist, a legal practitioner, and he's also a member of the APC. Glad to have you on set with us.
Thank you for having me. Always a delight being here.
So I'll start with you, Ogbu. Now, the APC has a new leadership. What is expected according to the constitution of the party? Are we going to have an election? No.
The constitution of the party is very clear on succession plan. And the APC was well constituted. I'm a founding member, so I'm very clear about what happens next. It's the first party that have a structure from the coalition center, which is the polling unit. 10-member executive in the polling unit. So the party is well structured. So there is never room for vacuum. Immediately, you have what we call, the country is first divided into North and Southern Nigeria. And then into the 6 geopolitical zones, 3 per region. In such a manner that once you have the national chairman, you have 2 deputies, North and South. Then the 6 geopolitical zones have a chairman each, called vice chairman, zonal vice chairman. Same for women leader and all that. The intention is to get to the grassroots and bring the bottom to up approach in politics. Now, with the exit of the chairman, which I consider long overdue, it means that the deputy chairman not occupies that position in acting capacity until an election is conducted to fill that vacancy. It is a constitutional matter, so ratification, acceptance or no acceptance is just as if the president leaves now, God forbid, leaves now, and the vice president goes, the senate president takes over. So there's no vacuum. APC constitution is clear on that. So we are expecting an acting chairman, which has already taken place. He immediately steps in. When you cite the Oshomole matter, it is because the deputy chairman South, Ajimobi, died. First, he fell sick because of COVID and couldn't take the office. The natural thing that would have occurred at that place would have been the vice chairman, the most senior person from that area, which was the vice chairman South. An aberration was created because of the frenzy of political scheming. And the vice chairman South didn't take. Instead, they asked a deputy speaker, a secretary of the party. I couldn't have understood how a national working committee member could be subordinated to a NEC member. So the party constitution is clear. The deputy chairman not takes over. And that is why Kyari will remain there as chairman until an election is conducted. And there are a number of days that election must be conducted, unless something else happens. Even if anything else happens. You remember the last time, when that happened, everything was dissolved, and Buni as chairman, as sitting governor of Yobe State, was brought in. People went to court to say, no, a sitting governor cannot act into. There is no party executive at any level, from the polling unit to the ward, to the local government, to the state, to the zones, that has a salary. So he has executive powers to the extent that he acts on behalf of the party. So about salaries and earning of an income, it doesn't exist for any party or government. So there is nothing like you are doubling as an executive. That executiveness stops to the extent that you act until somebody substantive comes in. So Kyari sits there as we stand today for the party as national chairman until an election is conducted to fill that vacancy. And I think they naturally, of course, because every other position remains, that means that the North Central, not necessarily Nasarawa State, North Central will still produce the national chairman. It can come from any of the states in the North Central because that's where it is zoned to, not to a person, not to a state.
Oh, okay, earlier on you said long overdue. I will take you up on that later. But first of all, the national chairman is quite a powerful figure that wields a lot of influence. You'll agree with me.
Sure.
And for this kind of resignation before the scheduled caucus meeting, and more so when at this point when we are having some kind of critical decisions are being taken in the country. Now, it raises more questions than answers. What's your take on that?
The answers are quite simple. It's glaring. The facts are there. The facts speaks for itself. We all saw it coming as holding the position of the national leadership of the party entails a lot of responsibility. You have to be neutral. You have to be in tandem with the party's goals and ideals. If you look at it right from the primaries, you see a line that the chairman told, which is quite unassuming of a chairman, supporting to the extent backing a candidate, the former Senate president, against maintaining a neutral playing ground. So that should be an indication for all the party members and even political spectators to know that something is on the offense. Because if you come out as the national chairman to throw your support behind a particular candidate without allowing other candidates to participate freely, then there will be a problem, because he keep on making policy statements, taking decision, and at most times you will see the decision of the party, and if you look at it, it's not really in tandem with the generality of all the members of the party. There should be a way that, if you look at, as my member rightly said, there are ways that bottom-top approach, everybody should be involved. So it's not for a group to now feel that because of the position that they occupy, they could take decisions that will affect the generality of all the party members. If you look at just recently, when the positions of the various at the Senate, when the principal officers were being appointed, he kept making statement that that's not the position of the party. The expectation for we, the younger ones in the party, we believe that certain information should not be divulged to the public domain. You have family issues, we resolve it in the family. You don't come out to make statements. You now project the party as if something is wrong or we are not coordinated. We should be able to speak with one common voice, so that what the party has been known for, which is unity of purpose, everybody seems to be on the same page, in line and in tandem with the constitutional provision of the party. So for me, I believe he didn't get that right, and his removal is long overdue. So if he didn't go, naturally, we know that there are better ways of asking him to go.
You keep saying it's long overdue. I want you to elaborate on that.
I'm going to speak like this because most people don't like the... I came from a union background. I've been an activist all my life, and I'm not ready to change that. If activism means the greater good for the greater majority. If, like, you can note that from the beginning, first of all, he was not contesting for national chairmanship. So he was an accidental national chairman. That should have made him to be very humble and follow those who brought him. But instead, he was constantly in contradistinction with the party. At all times, at all material moments, critical decisions are to be taken, he unilaterally takes them. Remember that when he announced that the National Executive Committee of the party, coming from the National Working Committee of the party, have agreed that it is Lawan, there was an immediate reaction even from the president and the presidency that there was no such announcement, that there is a level playing ground. First, that was his first shot and his first misstep. He went on to meet the next banana peel, which was the election, to test run him, being a former governor, a former minister, and a sitting senator, who was brought to manage the party with his wealth of experience. What did we get instead? At the elections, even the National Working Committee members identified the fact that in spite of the humongous amount, I was one of the victims of the aspirants who paid for reform, From my local government alone, 10 people paid 10 million to be federal house members. 10 people, that's already 100 million. So if you put that together, you come to the conclusion that this chairman was not just accidental, but it was a witting disaster for the party. Look at the result from his state, even from his polling unit.
He lost.
So as far as I'm concerned, he lost almost everything, including credibility and value, electoral value. So it is good that he did what he did, and I think if he made all mistakes, he'll be forgiven for coming to resign at this point. I think this is the biggest achievement he has in his political career.
Okay, Abubakar, now we have Abubakar Kyari. Funny enough, he's a namesake. Sure. And now the acting chairman of the party. So what should party members and, of course, Nigeria expect from this leadership? We expect a lot. And Abubakar Kyari is a unique personality. He was a senator. He has been in the helm of affairs of the party in the National Working Committee, and is a well-articulated individual. And we believe that he will be able to support the government at this critical moment where we have a lot of challenges. In fact, at this moment, what the country needs is to press a reset button. Already we know what poverty is biting on the generality of Nigeria. So you can only do that as a government if you have a party that is very functional under a very distinct and very functional leadership. And that is what we have always lacked before now, where you have a situation whereby the government officials, party members are working against the government. We believe that we are going to have a change of, not only in the Nigerian courts where we are hoping that the government will press the reset button, but even within the party, things will begin to be done differently. Level playing field, transparency, openness, accountability, and OPC is known for winning. It's not like what we witnessed in the last election, where for some reasons, due to the inactions, particularly of the leadership, we now have to start losing states that we shouldn't have lost, states like Lagos. I want to emphasize the issue of Nasarawa. The chairman, as a chairman, if you can lose your polling unit morally, in order to climb, you resign. You don't even wait for other missteps that you have continue to tolerate and to perpetuate to continue. We know a lot of party officials, some even decamped, and we believe that the new leadership will be able to reconcile those that felt aggrieved, that went to other parties because they were not allowed to participate freely. And with the improvement that we are going to see in the new leadership, things will definitely impact positively on the government. Thank you very much. Well, we'll take a break. There's still Nigeria Today. We'll take a break now. The conversation will continue after the break. To stay with us.
We'll run away from
a national secretary.
And with this development, and according to the Constitution of the All Progressive Congress, APC, it is now incumbent on my humble self, Senator Abubakar Kyari, as the Deputy National Chairman, North, to assume the office of the Acting National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC. And subsequently also, the Deputy National Secretary, Barrister Festus Fuanta, will now assume the office of the Acting National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC. And with these recent developments in the change of leadership, I'd like to inform everybody here that the proposed National Caucus meeting slated for Tuesday, the 18th, July 2023, and the National Executive Committee meeting of the All Progressive Congress slated for Wednesday, 19th July 2023, has hereby been postponed.
Welcome back. It is still Nigeria today, and that was the acting national chairman, Abubakar Kyari, there. So, what's your reaction of this personality? You have been a party member, just like you said. So, tell us what are we expecting from this leadership?
No, I can see a collected national chairman. I can see a focused national chairman. I can see an excited national chairman ready to bring change and add value to the party. We've had something that has been very... I have been a state chairman. I have been a NEC member from AC until date, until I left, and as state chairman, I've been in the NEC until the formation of APC. I became the first vice chairman in Cross River. So I should know what a national executive party of a ruling party should be. The rigmarole, the panache, the courage, the charisma of a national chairman of a national party in government. I hate to hear the language family affairs. Family affairs means cover some things that are not supposed to be covered. And that is the robustness that you find in APC. And luckily for us, and note this, Shakespeare will say this to you in his books. When we go seeking fortune, often the fault of our conduct, we blame the stars, the moon, and other elements. We create problems and now look for who created the problem. We brought a chairman that was not ready to contest for national chairmanship. The chairman now proceeds into an election in which he begins to carry out a lot of stumbling and fumbling. And we keep tolerating it. For the APC and with the national leadership of Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, it became easy for us to manage it in a manner that we brought it here. So at very critical moments and strategic moments, strategic statements were being made and things were being carried along till we got the election and the results. The result that we have today. But from what we are seeing from Kyari, APC is going to get into a renewed hope. That renewed hope is not going to be just in the party, it's not going to be only in government, it will be with the membership and the supporters. You are going to see something different and dramatic too from APC from now on. That means the party will synergize. Because the role of the party after winning election is to guide and insist that the party manifesto is manifested. It is the drill and the dredge and the drag away from party manifestos that always creates the crisis that you find all the time, in which party confronts this. If you don't guard the party jealously, you'll find a new czar, a new sheriff in town, and when he finishes with his own bravado, the party suffers it. That's what almost happened to us in 2023, where the national leadership of the party and others got us into almost a near crisis. But today, you're going to find real party men. Don't forget, this is the first time you're going to have the president, vice president, senate president, and non-party chairman, all former senators. All former senators. So, getting into the legislature and getting to the grassroots, because for you to win a senatorial election, a simple majority, that means everybody must vote. So you have no shortcuts. Here we are, that you have people who are going to manage the party.
I'll still on you, that this resignation is happening amidst expectation of a ministerial list from President Tinubu. Is there any relationship with this?
There is. Okay. There is a relationship. That means that party loyalty must be rewarded. Loyalty must be rewarded. Where loyalty is not rewarded, the same energy people use to be loyal and to keep the party on, they use that same energy and ensure that the party has no peace. So it is important that party loyalty must be a consideration. Because what we saw in the past is that people just sit back and say, I paid the president's jet, therefore I'm qualified to be a minister. And those who have been sitting there, as opposition, now in government, become opposition again in the government in which they produce. That must change. And I believe that Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban of Nigeria, who has gone through all the opposition stages from Nadeko with us, I speak this with emphasis, must now know that those who sat there in the desert, who sat in the rain all these 22 years out of 24, must be rewarded at a point like this. If they don't do so, 2027 will count. Because now with Beavers, there's no shortcut.
Tanimu, how will these developments strengthen the party?
Absolutely. There will be a lot of, as he rightly pointed out, there will be a lot of synergy. There will be new membership drive. the issue of monetizing the elective position, I think that will be looked at. The youths and the women folk, people will now have more voice. They will there will be innovation. We are trying to have a government that is all inclusive, and it will equally want to be reflected in the party politics. The renewed hope that we are talking about, as he rightly pointed out, is not only going to be in government. Now we want to see a government that is having the policy direction from the party. So there are a lot of new changes, and Nigerians should have a lot of hope in the current government, because the party is going to play a significant role, unlike what we used to have in the past. As you have noted, in the immediate past, we've seen that we have a party leadership or party in the helm of a chairman that is not in tandem with the vision and aspiration of the government. That we don't want to have, we don't want to witness any longer.
Thank you very much. Now, one last question. 3 APC chairmen have left unceremoniously since 2013. Some have argued, or some believe, that this may not be too healthy for the party.
No. On the contrary, it shows a robust demonstration of democracy in action. This is what it portends, and this is what you must note. When you start seeing the banana peel that takes out chairmen, you can imagine that the chairman, like Adams Oshimole, whom you said you ignominiously, returns as a senator. And he was supposedly and purportedly removed by his ward. So his ward participated in his election, from primaries to the main election. Look at the vote. That is the only senatorial district, and that's the only area of Edo State that Adams Oshimole got what he got. You can go also and look at the man who was said to have lost election in 2019, Akpabio, Senator Akpabio, now Senate President. I participated in his campaigns and participated in the campaign to make him Senate President. One of the things I noticed was that it was subterfuge. It was about internal sabotage. And at all times, you can see the people saying a different thing, and some manipulators sitting within the leverages of power to control the pedal of the speed of the party. So the health of the party is now tested and 100% fit to go. We're ready to fly, we're ready to go, and you can see it in the manner. I mean, ordinarily in other parties, when this happens, you are going to see ripples all over the place. But today you can find that it is like good riddance to bad rubbish, because nobody is raising a finger, no noise, nothing is happening. It is as if this is what we expected. Because like I said, this is the first time Senator Abdullahi Adamu, former governor of Nasarawa State, is conducting himself like a gentleman. Look, you didn't support this man to emerge as candidate of the party. You didn't support him to emerge as president of the country. The natural thing to do thereafter is to resign. So it is good that he didn't wait. So if he had made all the faults, the one single mark he made for redemption, like that thief on the cross, is for him to have resigned.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I must thank my guests for joining us, Cletus Ogbu and APC Stalwart. We appreciate your time and your contribution. And also Abubakar Tanimu Ahmed. Thank you so much. Abubakar is also an APC member, human rights activist, and also a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. And to our viewer, thank you for always being a part of this. Don't forget, Nigeria Today airs weekdays at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can watch this and other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Once again, thank you for watching. I am Victoria Clinton. See you tomorrow.